Hello bakers and welcome back to the kitchen. I hope you're all doing well and staying safe wherever you are in the world. I was planning a magical Easter recipe for you, but unfortunately some of the items and ingredients haven't arrived yet, but I couldn't leave you without a sweet treat. So I wanted to do my twist on whipped coffee. Now, Dalgona coffee or whipped coffee, you might have seen over social media as it's blowing up at the moment, and it is a very lovely, light and frothy coffee, usually served over hot or cold milk, but we love our desserts here in the kitchen, so I wanted to take this and create a Dalgona coffee inspired dessert that you can serve up this Easter or whenever you have a sweet tooth. It is really easy to make your own whipped coffee, so I'm going to show you how to make Dalgona coffee, which you can use for the drink or this dessert, and we're going to serve it up with a white chocolate mousse, which is going to complement those coffee flavors as well. It's really simple, so if you've got the ingredients lying around in your cupboards, here's what you need to do. As always, if you want to recreate this recipe, all of the ingredients, measurements and instructions are up on my website, bradleybakes.co.uk. First up, we're going to prepare our easy white chocolate mousse. And for this, you want to chop up your white chocolate into nice small chunks and then place that into a bowl over simmering water, stirring it through until melted. Pop this to one side to cool. In a separate bowl, you then want to pour in your double cream and whisk this up until it forms soft peaks. You then want to separate your eggs, as we're only going to use the egg whites for this recipe, so make sure you carefully separate them and place them into another bowl. And then we're going to whisk this over some simmering water, so this is going to pasteurize the eggs for us while also stiffening them up until it forms some nice stiff peaks. And then all we need to do is combine our ingredients. So you want to add half of your cream into the chocolate to loosen it up with your vanilla, and then carefully fold in the rest of the cream, being careful not to knock out too much air. Once that's nicely combined, you want to repeat the process with the egg whites. So stir in half and then carefully fold in the remainder. You then want to pour these evenly into your glasses so they're nice and level, and then place them into the fridge to set for an hour. So that is a quick and easy homemade white chocolate mousse recipe, and as I mentioned, it is optional, so if you just want to make a traditional Dalgona coffee, then you can replace that part with your ice and your milk. Okay, the next bit is the key bit, and that is our whipped coffee. It is really easy to make. You only need 3 ingredients and a whisk. Now you can do it by hand, but it's going to take a little bit of effort, so if you have a stand mixer or a hand mixer, I definitely recommend using it. For our easy Dalgona coffee recipe, you want to use equal parts of coffee, sugar and hot water. Place these into your bowl and allow the hot water to dissolve the coffee and the sugar. It's important that you keep the ingredients in this quantity, as the sugar will help it whisk up and stay frothy, while the hot water is just enough to melt the coffee and the sugar and not to make your whipped coffee too runny. You want to whisk it on a medium-high speed for a good 5 to 10 minutes, and you'll start to see it go lovely and pale and then get thicker and thicker. You'll know it's ready when you can take the whisk up and the stiff peaks should hang on to it. All that's left to do is assemble our Dalgona coffee mousse. So you want to take your white chocolate mousse out of the fridge and then slowly pour over your whipped coffee. Try your best to get this nice and even without it going over the sides. A quick trick is to take a skewer or cocktail stick and swirl it around the top of your whipped coffee, as this will give you a lovely even finish and it'll look pretty cool. Last but not least, we're going to finish ours with some white chocolate curls. So for these, you want to take your bar of white chocolate, a very sharp knife, and scrape it along the back, collecting your curls one by one, and then place them on top of your mousse. And we're done. If you've ever wondered how to make Dalgona coffee, it is as easy as that. And it is really versatile, so just like me, you can turn it into a dessert. This Dalgona coffee white chocolate mousse is incredible, but probably not one to have too close to bedtime, as the coffee content is very high. But trust me, as soon as you dip your spoon in and see how lovely and frothy that whipped coffee is, you'll know you're in coffee heaven. And with that, my Dalgona coffee inspired recipe with a white chocolate mousse is complete. It looks incredible and it is super simple to make, so I definitely recommend you give it a go and let me know down below in the comments what you think. All that's left for me to do is give it a go. Oh, look at that foam. That was amazing. It's really, really strong with the coffee, but the sugar doesn't make it too bitter, and then you hit that white chocolate mousse and it just melts in your mouth. It is glorious. Let me know down below in the comments what you think of this recipe and if you're gonna try it out. That is all for this week's recipe. If you want to see more from Bradley Bakes, then make sure you hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and then I will see you next time.